Okay, we're rolling. I got to say, fun.
Okay, Tim.
So
do it, man.
All right, this is Savage Randy, my non-spiritual life advisor, Pastor Jack Dugan.
All right.
That was pretty quick. That's okay. And so this guy down here on my screen is Chase Calhoney, very good friend over the years, amazing songwriter, and
that's how you do it, Tim.
Moved away from where we all live to go be even more amazing in Nashville, writing music, playing music, becoming tight with people like Sonny Sandoval and all those, and that's who that is. Chase, right there.
Yeah, that's how you do an intro right there, bud. And this big fellow over here, and when I mean big, I mean in a very muscular, manly way, is my Hapa Haole brother from the Hamakua Coast, the none other Tim Hooley the third, son of the Hooley clan.
That's pretty good. Tim, you want another shot at introducing me? Maybe you make me sound a little bit better?
Well, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, well, all right. It's okay.
It's okay. We have time. We have time to work on this. We have plenty of time. So on today's
this is Pastors and Pagans, and our theme for today is Christmas, because Christmas is about a week away, and we are a couple days away from the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year.
Darkest day of the year.
Darkest day of the year.
So Jack, speaking of the darkest day of the year, you were saying something about a planet. Why don't you repeat that?
Okay, so I was trying to find this and I couldn't find it. It is from Doctor Who, one of the Christmas specials. And there was this really cool thing about how on the planet Christmas, where it's Christmas all the time, when the winter solstice would take place, again, the darkest day of the year, that even total strangers, when they were passing by, would stop, they would hug one another and say, "We have made it through the darkest times," and then they'd move on. And I was just thinking that for us, this is right before the winter solstice, darkest day. 2020, been a horrible year. And you know what? We have made it through the darkest days, and we're moving on.
Don't be hugging.
Yeah?
Yes. What'd you say,
right,
Tim?
Don't be hugging people, though.
Don't be hugging people. You can hug some people. Be nice.
Hug everybody that you can get your arms around.
You irresponsible bastards.
Speaking of 2020, how has 2020 affected you, Tim, and your social gathering?
2020 was pretty good to me. 2020 wasn't bad. I had a baby. Protracted leave at the beginning of the year. I took third of a year off. Wasn't bad.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You were stoked.
You've always been fairly socially isolated, so it probably wasn't that
this
different.
is nothing for me. This is to be more socially isolated. This is not
That's what I was going to say. I wanted to point it out. And for our listeners and viewers who don't know, Tim had been practicing social distancing since around 18 years old or so. And it was all
11.
For preparation, I assume, or 11, for a time like this where you can't be. And so he's been social distancing, building weapons and rafts at some point. He's made all kind of inventions. And these are lesser things known about Tim, but because we know of his accomplishments, this is kind of the stuff that he's been doing and preparing for. He's not a prepper. Would you consider yourself a prepper, Tim?
I don't need to prep. I am the preparation.
Fully prepared.
I.
Yeah.
I and I.
What's the Boy Scout one about being prepared?
Truman.
Be
would know.
prepared.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Be prepared.
Tim is especially prepared in the event of a post-apocalyptic steampunk type world. That when that breaks out, Tim will be king.
Or at least the
Tim will
wealthy
be king.
vendor of
I like the
knives,
sound of
and
that.
swords, and air-powered weaponry.
Oh, nice.
So Chase, you were saying you
Very
had
nice.
a story that you were gonna share, something that just went down.
Oh no, I don't. I think I'll save that for the next podcast. 'Cause this doesn't have anything to do with Christmas,
Oh,
but it's interesting. It's an interesting thought that had been popped up. Question,
Go for it.
but
Start with that.
right now,
Yeah, right now.
sure.
but it's not. It's not Christmassy.
Doesn't have to all be about Christmas.
Okay, interesting. So I had this conversation with my father-in-law, and hopefully he can't hear me. But we were talking about something, and then somehow the subject of hell came out, and he believes that hell is in the center of this earth, physically, which was
Okay.
interesting because I never thought of it that way ever in my life. Have I thought of hell being in the center of this physical earth? And I thought that's impossible. It can't be. You've got it wrong. And he's very adamant about it. And he goes, no, that's what I believe it is. And so I said, okay. Didn't think about it. But the reason I kind of brushed it off so fast was not really scripturally, which I should be more in tuned with, but more so in a way of being like, well, we would have hit it. We would have dug that deep. We would have done something. And it turns out we have not dug very deep in the planet
No.
as I thought we
Sure.
did. Like, so it was just very interesting to me I brushed it off so fast because like, that's impossible. Because I was thinking we've been to the moon, we're on our way to Mars. We probably have dug very deep in our planet and we haven't even scratched the surface. Like I Googled it and like the deepest hole I believe ever dug by mankind is in Russia. And it's like not even gotten past the very first crust layer of the planet. So it was just a very interesting like mind thing that I never thought about before. Brushed it off really quick and then had to retract a little bit because I assumed too much of our knowledge of things fairly quickly. It was interesting. I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on pastors and pagans.
That's right. Tim, go, man. What do you think?
I think he might be confused. There's no hell. No, I was just waiting for a reaction.
That's why we
No,
invite you here.
You can't dig down. The center of the earth is hotter than the surface of the sun.
Is that true?
That's true. I'm sure. Look it up.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Check
Your
it.
eye is twitching. I don't believe you at all.
My eyes
but
not twitching.
Go ahead, though.
I don't have anything. If that's what he thinks, that's what he thinks. I'm not gonna try and stop him.
do you think that we can get to the center of the earth? Because I think that we could.
Oh.
I mean, like,
Eventually, with the right technology,
yeah.
of course.
Why would you want to?
Interesting.
Though?
It's just molten schmagma. You're not gonna
That's
find.
what I'm thinking.
Not gonna
You
find.
dig down so far, and it's just lava's gonna come out, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, the hole filled in again." So it seems.
Well, what if there's like there's just something like we don't know what's down there? Do we know that it's just lava, or is that just theory?
Well, Tim has a theory about lizard people that live under the earth, and that they are planning on taking over someday.
There are quite a few hollow earth theories. Those people are nuts. It's okay.
Oh,
So, so we've given up on that one.
wow, we shut that down pretty quick. I thought there would be more, especially from you.
I think that's as likely as hell being in the middle of the earth. I mean, yeah, the lizard people live in a lower crust. They're not in the center of the earth. They just have caverns and stuff, obviously.
Okay, Well, maybe we could take this in a different direction. And enough with the. I think we're going to get as far as we went with YouTube conspiracy theorists here, Timmy. But what do you think in like a biblical sense, Jack?
I've heard that before, and I think it's kind of the same way when we talk about that heaven is above us, right? We talk about heaven and we point up, or we look up into the sky and talk about heaven. I don't think you could ever jump in a spaceship and fly high enough, far enough to eventually reach heaven, right? Because it's another dimension. It's something beyond this physical world. And hell's the same, I believe. It's not anything you could like dig down deep enough or find a cave that reached it, or somehow get to a point you're like, oops, that was a wrong term. Now I'm in hell. Or let people out, right? Because again, it's a spiritual dimension that goes beyond a physical world. That after this world is dissolved, and it will be, the end of Revelation talks about that heaven and earth pass away, and a new heaven and a new earth are created. Well, hell remains, just like heaven remains. And so even though the earth is destroyed, there's still hell in existence, and it will exist forever.
See, that's what I was thinking. I thought the same lines. But just for the sake of the argument, if you can't get to it physically, does it kind of count as another dimension? Because you can't actually get there. What if we can't ever physically get there because it's physically impossible to get there?
Well, I'm not going to get there.
I don't want to get there.
Right. It's not any place I want to go to.
Hey, we have a special guest popping in.
Hey, what's up, Megan?
Puppeteer.
Is it?
She wanted
coming to tell Chase to quit talking so loud?
No. She has no idea what we're going to talk about, and she won't too. No, we're not talking about anything weird. She just wanted to say hi.
Hello. Merry Christmas, Megan.
Thank you. What can we see?
Oh, that's Tim. Don't expect. I mean, like, yeah.
Oh, well, why is his allergic?
Well, we don't want to see what's in what's going on back there.
Well, I was just curious. What is his little setup there?
Oh,
It looks like he's in like a stage or something.
his little setup. I love how she belittled it in such a nice way.
Yeah. Such a cute little fort that he's in.
Well, because it's small, it looks like there's like a forest scene and like a blue background. I just didn't know what it was. That's all.
It's okay. Nobody really knows what it is. It's kind of like his dwarf. What's that guy that made all the weapons for the gods? The whatever. Yeah, it's like
Vulcan?
it's like yeah, that dude. It's like your den.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
His little forge room.
All right. And that was a special guest.
Oh, his popped up now.
Oh yeah. When
Megan's
we talk,
puppeteer.
I see.
when he
Casey's
talks, it
puppeteer.
pops up.
Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye, Megan.
She says bye. But yeah, that was all. That was it was just weird because I never had that conversation before. Very different. And then when I actually started looking about how much we know about,
If it is in another dimension just off from this one, it could be heavier and denser, and you could be further into the core of the planet. If it's in the same place, just on another dimension, maybe you're trapped in that heated inner core, if it's real at all. Because, it's.
And then I started thinking of like, when has, like, in the biblical sense, has like the earth ever done any stuff? And I thought of that passion when the earth actually opens up and swallows that camp of the Israelites. I thought maybe that's symbolism for like dropping them direct, like they took the express.
They did.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They took the
those guys
express.
took the express.
Maybe they.
That was
parked
Korah.
God.
Korah and his whole family got swallowed up by the earth for
Yeah,
mouthing
see?
off to Moses.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. So, anyways, there you go, right there. That's from Pagans and Pastors. We came to.
Good.
We're smart folks.
Yeah. And yeah, it can be in another dimension and take up the same space at the same time. That's Einstein's whole theory. You have multiple dimensions overlapping, and they're all just a little bit off phase from one another. So certainly God's got that more figured out than Einstein ever did. And,
I like that.
And hell is very real. And yeah.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
like it.
Merry Christmas.
Einstein and Alex Jones got it right. No, I'm joking. Totally joking. But yeah. So
Did you
Why
have a Christmas story, Jack?
yeah,
I did. Am I the only one? Don't you guys have Christmas stories you were going to share?
I will after you share and give me time to think of mine.
Okay. Tim?
Go for it. Go for it. Story time.
Okay, story time. This is a true story of Santa Claus, and it's my favorite one because it's true. So way back in the day, the year was 325 AD, Constantine called for the first Nicene Council, and about 300 different pastor, leader, bishops all came together for these discussions, debates to kind of decide what things they understood about Scripture, right? Because again, keep in mind the beginning of the church, this is about the same time that they were bringing all of the Scripture together to canonize it into the Bible. And there was just some discussion and some questions that they had. So one of them at this council was about the Trinity. In fact, they discussed that a lot as far as, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Are they all equal? How does that work out? Are they individual? Is it one God in three parts? On and on. And so in one of these debates, this one guy stood up. His name was Arius. And he began to really come down on the person of Jesus. And his claim was, what he was teaching was that Jesus is not equal to God the Father. In fact, Jesus is not God at all. And he just began to unload all this blasphemy against who he believed Jesus was. And so all these other leaders were just like silent, like they couldn't believe that someone would call themselves a Christian church leader and come out with all of this stuff. And so this one guy, Nicholas, stood up. And this is the guy that all the stories go back to of Saint Nick, that he was a missionary in Turkey. He was known for being very generous. And he was one of the guys at this council. And so he stands up and he goes down and stands before Arius. And everybody is just in silence waiting for his rebuttal, for him to argue against everything that Arius has said. And so Nicholas stands there for a moment, and then he punches Arius in the face. And that was it. And he was so upset at the blasphemy he'd heard, he just couldn't help but just deck this guy. And so
Nice.
Arius was on the
Nick.
naughty list, and that's how Saint Nick handles it.
I like this
So
guy.
Tim,
I like
no
this.
lump of coal for kids on the naughty list. They get punched in the face, apparently.
Punched in the face.
Remember the naughty list, Tim, because you're on it. Just saying. Probably.
I've been great all year.
Bring it, Santa.
I like that story. I heard that story before, so I was stoked when you brought it up. I'm like, that's a good Christmas story. Why aren't Christmas stories like that?
I don't tell it at church every Christmas. I wait a couple years. So you may have heard it at church back
I
when
believe
you went
so.
to church with us all those years ago.
All those years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. Tim,
Okay.
you have any memorable Christmas stories?
No, I can't decide if I want to go on a rant about commercialization and what the real meaning of the season is.
You can do
Please
that.
don't.
Oh,
You can.
Well, I mean, Jesus was born in the summer. So the reason for the season,
springtime probably.
it's not Jesus, right? It's not Jesus. It's making money. It's taking everybody's money. Just an excuse, convince you to go spend on yourself and rake in everybody's cash.
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I'm all about that money.
It leaves. Yeah.
Yes,
Is
it's
that
more
it?
like that
That's all.
Jesus was born in the springtime, but we don't really know for sure. And so it's the observance of his birth, right? Even if it's not the exact day like a birthday, it's still the idea of, hey, we're going to observe a day. We're going to be thankful and point to the greatest gift ever given to man. That's the point.
Yeah, plus
And-
December
and-
would be really boring if there was nothing happening in December. Like, think about it. Like, February's ugh, but then December would be ugh. Like, there would be nothing there. So, I don't know.
Well, most likely, one of the reasons that it landed in December is because there was a lot of other like pagan holidays going on. So I don't remember them all. I think the Celts had like this Timber and Fire festival that was like a drunken brawl, and
Ooh, Tim.
it's kind of all around the winter solstice, right? And so then the early church came in and went, hey, guess what? We've got a day we celebrate then too, and we call it Christmas. And it was a compromise, right? But it wasn't like that was the day.
Yeah. I have a very mixed background in Christmas because my family messed it up for me. But we had Christmas. Sorry, Mom, if you watch this, but like we had Christmas. Yeah, she won't. Nobody that I know will watch this. No, but we had Christmas up until I was like 14 or 15. And then we decided that pagan holidays, everything intertwined, Christmas is bad Christmas. And so we shut down Christmas, no Christmas. And to a 15-year-old, that really that sucks. And so no more Christmas trees, no more Christmas lights. Instead, we're doing a much funner activity. We're doing Hanukkah, which is very confusing for a Hawaiian / American person of my type. And we started doing Hanukkah, and Hanukkah was not the same. And no matter how much they made it fun, although you did get 8 presents, like a present a day, that part was cool.
Was your dad?
But they were like all from the dollar store.
What?
It was
my
like
dad
8
what?
presents, but they were all from the dollar store.
Exactly. It was that kind of thing, like where it sounded good at the beginning, like you're going to get a present for every 8 days up until the end of Hanukkah. And we're like, what? Yeah. And then it's
You
like
play dreidel?
toothbrush, gloves, socks,
No
it was
dreidel.
like that. Yeah. So we did Hanukkah from like 15, 16, 17, and 18-ish, just miserable. And so it really made me like fervently not like that holiday, even though Hanukkah is actually a really cool holiday, really interesting.
Was your dad one of those lost tribe guys? The Hawaiians are the lost tribe?
Probably. I'm going to say a lot of what he thought was probably mixed in with lost tribes.
Definitely your brother Robbie's woolly least points towards it.
I worry about Robbie going down the same path. But anyways, so we did that Christmas. And so Christmas became this thing where it's like, man, in one day when I get to have Christmas, I'm going to get Christmas back, where I didn't really care about Christmas in the spirit of Christmas that you should think of Christmas. It was more so, I am so done with Hanukkah. And anyways, I just wanted to say that when I moved out and started my own family, bam, we brought that Christmas tree back. We brought those lights back. We brought those presents. We brought old Saint Nick. We brought it all
Nice.
of it, and spent all the money. We were involved with all the the corporate buying and spending and selfish things. We did it all, and I feel good about it. And now my my boys enjoy it, but now I do have to train them a little bit better to know, like, to introduce what the meaning of Christmas is really about. And I'm finding that hard to do, to reel it in, because I'm so like, oh, I want the stuff, because they took the stuff.
Because of all the lies you told them about Santa.
No, I didn't tell them. We don't do the lies, but it's like they took the land, they take aloha. That's what I kind of felt like. They took Christmas, so I'm bringing it back. But I just got to reel it in a little bit with my children.
Bringing it back with lots of zeal.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
happy
good.
about that. That's a Christmas story, and Hanukkah mixed in there. Hanukkah's interesting though. It's a cool holiday. Judah Maccabee.
Here's the funny thing is that I've talked with a couple people over the years that are the same thing. They're like, no, we're not doing Christmas. That's a man-made tradition. Instead, we're doing Hanukkah. And you're like, Hanukkah is also a man-made tradition. It's not in the Bible. It's not one of the feasts or festivals of Israel.
Exactly.
It's a man-made tradition. So pick one and go for it. And yeah.
Yeah. A lot more epic, I think, than the Christmas. Like, it's very epic. It's like these guys go out, they're getting defeated, they start rebellion, they light a candle, and it burns for 8 days, longer than the oil should have lasted. Big miracle, and they like keep on fighting. So like super epic. No dissing on the Hanukkah. Just for me, it's a no-go. And I do think it is a little silly when people, not that it's silly. I feel like it's a good, like a lot of things, they start on with a good heart to be like, oh man, I want to like be really good. And this could be compromising to do Christmas, but then it just gets weird. I'm like, I feel like it's a long rabbit hole that you can get lost in with so many other things.
You can say silly. It's all right.
Silly. There we go.
Silly. There you go. Feels better, doesn't it?
It's nincompoop. It's not good.
And Tim, your Christmas traditions, your Christmas holiday stories?
We were raised without it, and
Is Tim still there?
yeah. Hey, am I here?
You freeze?
Uh-oh.
I
Hello?
see you.
Am
I see Tim.
Yeah, we were raised without Christmas. I think it's
There we
dumb.
go.
I think Santa's dumb. We did it this year. We bought each other a whole ton of presents and a Christmas tree and everything, and it's cool. I was already in debt, so it's not like anything new.
Well, it changes now, man. You got your daughter, and she's going to be getting older, and you get a pass for a year or two, right? Where
Maybe
you're pretty happy
when
just
I
to have
see
the
her
empty
get
box.
excited about it, but until then, I don't know. It's just I think it's.
Yeah.
Have
not
you
fun.
ever thought, though, Tim, if you made like a giant axe because you're good at making weapons, but also made like a giant real leather Santa suit, and you ran around Hanukkah
Odin
giving
claws?
gifts?
Yeah, we've
giving
talked
gifts?
about this. Odin claws. It sounds
Because
fun.
there's a fine line between jolly and just
I was
straight
thinking
up.
not gifts, but just walking around dressed like Santa and Odin combined, and just drinking in town.
Oh no. I wasn't. I think that's
Just
not
pulling
good for children.
mischievous pranks, and
No. You have to think of kids.
that's what I want.
I think
I
you
thought
can
we
pull
talked
it off.
about this before.
No, we didn't. We're all live here.
We
This
did.
is all new.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the
Yeah.
odd thing is that in our town, I don't know if it would get that much notice. If Tim was just like walking through
I
town,
would just be
going
one of a
from
bunch
bar to
of
bar
other
drinking.
characters.
people
Yeah,
would be like, "Oh,
you
who's that dude?" They wouldn't think like, "Is that Santa or is that Odin Claus? Is that some Norseman that's arrived to give us gifts?" They're just like, it's another dude in town.
Yeah.
They might just go, hey, he must be Rocky's friend or something. That will probably sum it up too.
Isn't that Moki's friend? Yeah.
I saw
Moki and Rocky.
Saw Moki today. Shout out to Moki. Wherever
Shout
you
out to
are.
Moki. Yeah, Moki. Hey, Moki.
Moki
Appreciate
Claus.
brother.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, 2020 is going to be a different like Christmas. I know a lot of people aren't like gathering, and people are down, and people don't have money because they all lost their jobs because the government is dumb. But still going to be a good year. Finish it up nice and strong. We're having Christmas with my in-laws family, which I love.
Yeah, I can tell.
A lot.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yes, I
Do they
do.
make,
I
do they
love.
make you sit at the back of the table, Chase?
No, Tim, they don't. They very much are pleased with me. In fact, I might be the best son-in-law out of everybody. I'm just saying. It hasn't been recognized, but it might be real. Like that might be the thing. That might be the
You
thing.
have the closest thing to a steady job.
No, definitely not that. Definitely not that. It's just personality, you know? It's like, don't look for the pretty girl. Look for the one with a good personality. That's what it is.
Did you just
You
say
lost
that
me
about
on
your
that one.
wife on the internet?
Oh, no. What? No, I didn't. I wasn't talking about my wife. But she does have a great personality. You are messing this up for me, man. Goodness.
No, Megan, you don't want to watch this. No,
It's okay
it
because
wasn't
we
that
all
good.
know she's gonna watch this as soon as I'm done.
No, she's not. She's not going to watch this. Trust me.
I've got her number. I'll send her a link.
No, don't. That's okay.
All right. Well,
Well, this was
do
fun.
you guys want to wrap this all up, bring it to a close or something?
I like it.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
pastors and
So-
pagans. Went over Saint Nick punching people. Chase's family and home life.
Hell. In the center
Hell.
of the
Oh
earth.
yeah, hell. Don't forget about hell, everybody. Be
Yeah.
scared. Go to church.
Awesome.
Very good. Pastors and Pagans, episode 1.
The first. We're going to regret this one day, but not tonight. Not tonight. All right. Well, we're
All right,
leaving.
guys. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.